Now this right here, I don't know. A lot of people know her. Some people don't, but you're gonna know her today. Okay. So this young lady, this is Ty Hall. She's an international. Let me say this again. International massage therapist. She travels around the world. Do you hear me? I mean, now I don't I know how females are about aging and asking people their age, but she retired already. Come on, y'all, look at this face. This young, retired. My mother just retired, and she's 65. Now she ain't nowhere near that. She retired. She got both bachelor's degrees. Can you please tell them all the bachelor's degrees that you have?
I have a bachelor's degree in neuromolecular biomechanics through the kinesiology department, and then I have another bachelor's in abnormal psychology through the bachelor's of science department at University of Maryland, and then I got my master's in legal aspects of healthcare and policy writing. And then I went on to travel and traipse the world to learn about the different modalities within the massage and body manipulation industry.
She is the guru, y'all. A post-op. That's fetish drinks, massages, body contouring, health and wellness. She got it going on. Y'all just don't know. Your girl right here, Tamika, it's an honor to have her here. Like, I'm like, y'all don't even understand. My cheeks is hurting right now. I'm going to get through this interview. And then, let me tell y'all, I don't know what some people say, but she's so cool. And then also, she served as a public speaker. Look, y'all don't even know, we already had an interview. We was like, we had to say cut because she was just giving out just too much information.
Off camera.
Off camera though. Off camera. So we're going to try to reverse it back and try to share some things with y'all. But hold on. Now, we in the DMV area right now. You from the DMV?
I am. Born and raised.
Wow.
I was born in Providence Hospital, grew up in Capitol Heights, then lived all over in every borough, in every hood, every whatever. Lived in Baltimore. DMV through and through,
Through and through. Now, look, y'all. Maryland University. She went to Maryland. That's 5 minutes from up the street. Like, Maryland University, I try to get my son to go to Maryland University. Hopefully he will. My niece wants to go to Maryland University. But also I want to talk about these small setbacks. I'm going to say they were small, and I'm pretty sure they was temporary. They were setting you up. That's what I say. That's what I believe. They were setting you up for greatness.
I love
right? So the small setbacks that you had, can you, share a little bit of the setbacks? I know you said you was homeless, and what made you keep going? Like, what was your turnaround? What woke you up and say, today is the day? Like, enough is enough. Like, what, for like a young person, because you look so young in the face, right? For a young person that is probably going through some things, they alone, or they want to start entrepreneurship, they just started getting in their business. What can you tell them? What made you continue to keep going?
My son. So I come from great bones, great threads. I come from a great household. And so when my ambition, my narcissism, my ego got me to where I'm sleeping in a car with my son, and we live in the DMV, like, temperatures, winter drops down 20, 30 degrees at night, and we're wrapped up with dirty clothes inside the car trying to keep warm. I'm like, yo, how did I get here? My son is what kept me going. My shame and my embarrassment wouldn't let me share with people what had happened and what we were going through. But I was like, oh, you deserve so much more than this. And so do I. I was like, I apologized to him then, and even now, so many times I'm like, oh, I'll look back and I'm like, I'm so sorry about, what happened. And my son is so cool. Like, I think that's why I vibe with you and your son, and I love y'all interactions that y'all have with each other. And I'm seeing this here because it reminds me of me and my son, and we grew up together.
Yes.
And my parents are still together. They're still married, still live together and everything. And I was like, I wasn't raised like this.
Right.
But I also wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and God gave me some real big dreams.
Absolutely.
And I didn't do the best in my personal discernment to figure out who I needed to ask questions from to grow professionally. And I wound up falling on hard times. And I was like, God, man, I know you made me for more than this. Order my steps, and I promise you I will follow. But this cannot be life. And I realized that sometimes that you have to be broken, similar to a slingshot. You have to be pulled back to be set up for you to propel forward.
Yeah.
And it was honestly in that moment, just the only thing I had to go off of was my love for God, and because that kept me from going towards negative or suicidal thoughts, but then also my love for my son, where I'm like, you deserve more and I'm gonna give it to you.
Absolutely. See, for my son, he's here with me, helping me. And when I say he root me on, he encourages me. And that's another reason why I keep going, not just for my son, for my girls, my grandbabies. I got grandkids now. That pushes me. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure, for you, your son, that helped push you. So if it was somebody that was young and they going through, or they just got, I'm going to say entrepreneurship. They just want to start entrepreneurship. What would you tell that person to keep going?
Well, one thing I'm always going to lead with what's on the tip of my tongue, and that is my faith. And if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't have been able to make it through what I have. He's a real bomb track record.
Oh, right.
But secondary to that is you have to learn your worth.
Absolutely.
And through that, it's going to be so uncomfortable. Become comfortable with being uncomfortable. When you step into an entrepreneurial space, that vision that you were given, those dreams, those ideas, those eyes that they were given to you, nobody else is going to share that. So there's some people that are going to come along with you on your journey for aspects and parts of it, but they're not there to stay because they have their own journey. Absolutely. And your paths just happen to cross. I would say that, and the one thing that I wish I would have learned sooner is to identify and then boldly, unapologetically declare what it is that you want. Come boldly before the Lord with the desires of your heart, and declare with conviction that these are the things that I want. That is the end, right?
That's the vibe.
You get to the end. You identify what the end goal is. This is what you're working towards. Absolutely. And then you figure out everything else in the middle afterwards. But a lot of times we'll stop ourselves. We'll block our own blessings and not declare that this is what I want because it scares us.
Wow.
It's too big, or you're like, who am I?
Because I'm trying to tell you, I used to be terrified. Sometimes I get scared myself.
Me too. The fear doesn't go away by the way.
Every day.
So how long you been in the game?
So 4 years.
All right.
So you've been, and that's what I wanted to ask you, because I was reading your bio, and you didn't have that number them years, but I know it's a long time.
We coming up on 17 years.
Whoa.
I'm still scared. The fear doesn't go away. But you got to figure out who you want to let drive your car, faith or fear. They both can't coexist. And
absolutely,
you only got one driver's seat, so only one person. And every now and then, fear will hop. You go inside of your little spiritual grocery store, pick up what you need. You come out, and this bald-headed scallywag is sitting in your driver's seat. You got to yank her out, punch her in the face 2 times.
I'm laughing because guess what? Me and my sister used to use bald-headed scallywag. So she's really from the DMV for real. We used to live in I'm telling people where I'm from, but I used to live in Suitland, and
girl,
we used to call
hard times. I landed up in Kitland.
Right,
I was in the zoo.
I was living in Kitland too. Bald-headed scallywagon was your name if we didn't like you. Bald-headed scallywag. I'm not even making that up for real. But I'm gonna bring it back. But this young lady has multiple business. Could you please tell them about your business?
I have an art distribution company. I paint, I draw, I sculpt when I have free time, and I saw how much money I was paying to art curators for me to use their spaces or for them to reproduce my work. So I started an art distribution business, a book publishing company.
Wow.
I have a couples massage company where I teach couples how to massage each other in a group or a private setting. I have an unlicensed, and I'm okay with saying that, an underground unlicensed dispensary business, because when I tried to do it the legal way, I got hit with so much red tape, and I was like, I know how to get $1.
Right.
I'm going to ask for forgiveness before I ask for permission, so I actually don't promote that company because I know it's low-key illegal. But I still got it, and I still rock off and make money with it. I have Time Out, which is the post-op biocon massage business, and then I have my school where I teach other people how to do this industry.
Absolutely. I'm looking at a real boss right here, a real hustler. This is a hustler. So this young lady, she travels around the world. So what made you start traveling to do massage therapies, and how did you get into that? Like, because I know when I used to see you, it was on Instagram. Mm-hmm. So was people DMing you?
It was bigger than that. And again, I'm just going to attribute this to, I wish there was another answer. People like, all right, God, I got that. But what else? No, yo, him. That is the answer. I wanted to go to school,
Okay.
fall in love, meet a man, fall in love, and get married and have a whole bunch of kids and find like a million ways to love the same man for the rest of my life.
Okay.
That didn't work out.
Okay.
And I fell into business and found out I'm really good. I know how to make money. And so as when I graduated from college, I went to University of Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
I was in sports classes. And so when I graduated and started becoming a massage therapist, all of those athletes, they were in my classes.
Wow.
So they were the homies.
Okay.
And where most people aspire to end their career, that's where mine started. And my athletes, you don't always go pro.
Right.
You know, sometimes they had they got drafted and they did like overseas leagues and stuff like that, and they're like, yo, I got this one girl who I know keep me right, and let's say they get overseas and they try to find somebody else and that magic ain't the same, they hit me up, hey, how fast can I get you on a plane out here? My body is shutting down and it's affecting my ability to play and make money. I need you where you at.
Wow.
That's how it started, but based off of just connections.
Just connections.
And God.
And God. And you said most of your business was going off word of mouth.
Uh-huh.
Can you please let people know word of mouth still works?
I have never advertised, ever. I've never paid for an ad. I tried to hire a marketing company and it didn't work out. My success, hand over foot, has come from word of mouth because of the quality that exudes from my practice. When you focus and take the time to create something that's amazing, that's greater than you, that sustains in the midst of a drought, in the midst of a pandemic. I did a retirement tour and I was booked out in every city, state, and country I was allowed to go to the entire 2020. The only place I couldn't go to was, we were supposed to go to London and I was booked out in London.
Wow.
Had to get them refunds back.
So this lady right here is working on celebrities now.
I paused. So I was working on celebrities. I don't do anything but teach. Like, you gotta know somebody to know somebody to know somebody.
So how long you been retired? So far?
Just at the end of 2020, December 2020. So I say a year and some change. I've had a few celebrities. Like, you gotta be super connected and not in a way that, like, I don't geek off of your status.
Right.
I look at your I want to see the God in you. I want to see your spirit. I want to see how you're moving. I want to see, like, it's not that for me to be able to work with somebody, I have to stop what I'm doing. I have to stop my journey and forward progression to come tend to you. Right. And so I'm looking at it like, you be all right. Yeah. One of my therapists can come take care of you. You don't need me. Right. So just like you have anointed hands, as I have been told and informed. Like, these anointed hands don't have to stop and touch everybody.
Everybody, absolutely.
So before I retired, I had a whole slew of celebrities and stuff. But now people hit me up and I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, we'll take care of you. And I use the term we instead of me.
Yes.
Because it allows me to stay fluid. And then I'll send my staff to go take care of them and work on them.
Absolutely. So we're going to go back to the love part. Because she did find love.
I did.
And guess what? She looking all pretty, right? She was in the middle of getting her makeup done. She took some pictures and she's getting ready for this wedding, right? That I know is going to be amazing. And when I say she don't even know how I feel right now, I feel so honored that she said, you know what? Because we was going to do a live. She said, no, I can come there. I could come to you.
We're in the same little area. Where I'm coming to.
Right. And so she did find love. And I know that it's a lot for her, and I know it can be really, really busy. So, when is the wedding? Like, when did you find love? Because, you know, people don't think you have a life outside of your business, right? They think you need to be on their time, that you don't have a significant other, that you don't have family. So, when is the wedding? Tell these people how much you in love, and love did happen for you.
I fell in love when I went to brunch, and it's funny, so we did our final walkthrough this morning. He didn't come with me. He had some videography shoot he had to do. But we met there because usually I travel, and it was just one particular year, 4 years ago, where I had a contract here and I couldn't travel for my birthday. And I was like, well, what do normal, regular people do? And they was like, they brunch. And I was like, all right, then. I'm going to go to brunch then. Okay. And so we went to brunch, and he walked in. I was like, ooh, who that? I was like, he cute. And it was unlimited mimosas. And I seen him when he came in, but then I was like, but this crab cake and this crab soup, though. And so 2 hours of unlimited mimosas later, I was like, who's that?
Yeah.
We got the rapping and we've been inseparable ever since.
Wow.
But love didn't find me externally until I found it internally.
Okay, absolutely.
After my last relationship, I was so broken and hurt, and I was like, I had a conversation with God, and he was like, hey, yo, you be giving yourself to these men in a way that you don't give yourself to me, and you wonder why you're struggling. You fighting spiritual battles with worldly weapons because you don't know my word.
Wow.
He was like, so whenever you're ready to stop playing in this world, let me know. And I was single for a very long time, and I focused on healing me, forgiving me, fixing me, dealing with me.
Right?
I became the love story that I always wanted. So when I was able to meet my spouse, he just stepped into my organized chaos. And I'm like, if you try to ride this ride, yo, this how we work. This how we rock.
Right.
I like my nails a certain way. I like my toes a certain way. And I was like, that's not saying that I'm not a gold digger, but I don't need you to complete me.
Absolutely.
I would love for you to enter into my life to compliment me.
Yes.
And that started with me loving myself appropriately for me to find love externally afterwards.
Absolutely. You can see the glow all on your face.
Girl, I'm so
like,
if this house was big enough, I'd have a whole Tom Cruise moment be jumping up and down. I'm so happy and so in love.
That is so good. I'm so happy for you. I was telling her I've been married for over 20 years, and I know she can do it. You're going to get through it. You got to keep God first. It's going to be amazing.
We have a lot.
It's a ride, though.
Like, this might have to be a part 2 another day, because certain things that come along, it's like after you've been single for so long, there is a skill to loving a broken, strong, independent Black woman.
Yes, it is.
Not just loving a woman, an independent Black woman. I became the man that I needed. So you gotta have your stuff together before you step to me. Because otherwise, we straight on this side of the tracks over here.
Yes.
And so learning to soften myself to be submissive for the man who's able to be a servant to me. We can get real deep.
I know. Oh, you don't even
But that's
I'm trying to leave it here. Right, I'm holding
so we can get through these questions.
I want to get through these questions. I swear.
Love came when I became worthy of the love that I wanted.
Wow.
That's when I found love. And we've been here ever since, and he's so patient with me. The words will come out my mouth, and he was like, I'm going to let that slide. I'm going to politely remind you that you can't talk to me that way. And I'm going to let that go, Ty, because it sounds like you had a long day. But if you ever, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you're right, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He was like, it's all right, baby. It's all right. I love you. And he knows where I came from, just like your husband knew that. He knew what he signed up for.
Yeah.
And so
I did too.
And it's a growing thing, and I love it that business and personal, like what I learned in my personal life, I can apply to my professional life and vice versa.
Absolutely.
And when you fall in love with someone who has a business and they're a dreamer, you gotta fall in love with their dream too.
Please say that again.
When you fall in love with a business owner and a dreamer, you gotta fall not just in love with them, you gotta fall in love with their dream too.
At the same time.
And so it's been an ebb and flow between both of us, of him understanding and learning me, learning my triggers, learning my business, learning my ambition, and be like, what you need? I can help you with that. I'm here for that. And support looks so different once you realize what real love looks like.
Absolutely.
And I know that you all give that to your clients when you come
here. Oh yeah. It's nothing but love here for my clients. I'm so overprotective of my clients. They don't make no sense. If they like family, they don't even know as soon as they step over the daggone door, we family. Mm-hmm. You know, so I'm real overprotective of my clients. I love all of them. You know, they don't disrespect me. It's just amazing. Well, you know, let me bring that back. Like the first two.
They when they walk in and they see what you want, they adjust. So one of my homegirls calls me and she was like, and I was like, hey, what level you on right now? She was like, I'm on a 10. I was like, okay, I'm on a 2. I was like, so I need you to come down just a little bit, and I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. We're going to meet in the middle. And a lot of time, people in our industry have been so mishandled.
Yes.
The misinformation, the lies, the scamming, the smoke and mirrors, that they got their guards up when they come in.
That's what we're going to talk about. We want to talk about, because that's why I wanted you here. I'm big on the community and protecting, not trying to protect the community, because you can't protect everybody. But the information that I hear that comes through that door, and they like, man, if I would have known this, if I would have known that, I would have waited. I would have put some more money to the side. I would have went to another surgeon. I would have did this. I didn't do my research. I was in the groups.
That's the
I
biggest
was on
one.
YouTube.
I was in the groups and I didn't do my research.
I didn't do my research. So real quick, we're gonna bring Miss Clark in. We're gonna talk about this post-op care. You got the guru. Like, I'm good, but we got the guru right here. We're gonna answer because some people y'all hear some of the stuff I say, but she's gonna go over top of my stuff. So we look, Miss Clark, come on.
Come on, baby.
I had it up to here with the information that these people are getting that is not right. I had it up to here how these people's bodies are looking because they're not doing their research. They want to get their whole body done with one surgeon, and they should have looked into it like you're getting your hair done. Okay, so we're about to talk about pre-op and post-op, okay? So let's talk about the 5. You got 5 hairstylists. I got like 4, right? So everybody specialize, okay, y'all, in different things. I would, I love my short haircut. Then I love my weave. Then I love
my braids.
I love my braids. Then I love the hair care, right?
My natural hair.
My natural hair. And sometimes I don't want to go natural. Sometimes I may need a perm. And as this person say, I don't deal with perms. So the reason why I be talking about the hair and 5 different stylists, because you want your breasts done, and because you want a tummy tuck, because you want your arms done, because you want your inner thighs done, because you want a BBL done, that don't mean you have to go to the same surgeon for everything because they specialize in different things. So can you please talk to the people and ask them, or at least tell them how soon or when should they start their research on the surgeon? Should it be a year? Should it be a couple of years? Like, what should they be looking out for and how long they should be looking for surgeon? Let's talk about the pre-op part. What should they do to get ready for surgery?
All right, so in this industry, there's 8 different phases, and the very first one is the most crucial, and that's picking a doctor and a procedure. Because let's say if you want a tummy tuck and a BBL, you have to look at your body structure to figure out what you're gonna do. Sometimes you can do them together, but often if you want the best results, certain things need to be done separately.
Okay.
And you may get the tummy tuck, but then you done cut all the fat off that you was supposed to be transferred to the butt. Right. And then if you get the BBL first, then you have to worry about all that loose skin that's hanging around. And then you have to, so what we were leading into was assessing what works best for you based upon so many different parameters that I think a lot of people undershoot. When she had her procedures, her starting BMI was a 24. When I had mine, my starting BMI was a 35.5.
Okay.
So I wouldn't have been able to go to her surgeon. There's not every surgeon can do everything. It's not like an even gamut where everyone has the same skill set. It's not an even gamut where everyone has the same skill set. Yes. Some surgeons are great at BBLs. Some surgeons are great at tummy tucks. One of my absolute favorite surgeons in Miami, his name is Dr. Masri. He actually doesn't do BBLs. He'll do everything else. So you need to take into account and assess what it is that you, the procedures and treatments that you want done surgically. And then you have all these other parameters you have to take into consideration from your finances. If you have children, whether they're young or older, are they able to sustain for about 4 weeks without you? Because if you have young kids, you can't pick them up. Right. Or if you have someone that you have a child that has sports and they need to be taken to school, how they getting there? Because you can't drive after a BBL for the first 3 weeks. Yes. So phase 1 is so important, and it will mess up your, not just your entire post-operative journey. You will compromise your investment if you don't take into consideration all of the things that go into you having a cosmetic self-love journey.
Absolutely.
When you look at how old you are, how much pre-existing trauma you had, previous surgeries that you've had an experience, whether it's elective or medically necessary. How many kids have you had before surgery? You may be like, oh, I don't want a tummy tuck. Your DNA says differently, shorty. So you have to kind of look at everything when you're like, I want this procedure and I want this doctor, because you can say that, all right, I want to stay home. Well, your bank account also says differently because local surgeons cost more.
Yes, they do.
Local surgeons for, let's say, a tummy tuck, a breast reduction might run you, $12,000, and you go to Miami, you're looking at like $4,000. You go to DR, you're looking at $4,000 to $5,000. Right. depending on the procedures that you want and the quality caliber of your surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also take in consideration surgeons will run specials when they're trying to build up their portfolio.
Yes, they will.
So I would
Yes, they
suggest
will.
people to start off first and foremost, at the end of the day, your budget. You can't
Let's
have
talk about the
champagne dreams and beer bottle money.
Yes.
You can't want all that in a bag of chips if all you can afford is the bag of chips.
So after surgery, how much you think? Because I could give you a number, but you've been doing this a little longer than me, right? How long should they save up?
That is the
You
number
give
one
like a-
mistake that people make is that they under budget for the procedure.
Yeah, yeah.
So the rule of thumb that I give people is based off, I like equations.
Mm-hmm.
So the rule of thumb I go off of is that you need to save 45% of the cost of your procedure plus the cost of your procedure. So if your procedure, hypothetically for number's sake, is $10,000, you need to save $14,500. That's just starting baseline.
Did y'all hear this?
If your procedure is $10,000, you need to save $14,500 because the massages alone, not including your fights, your recovery home, your suitcase and your travel, your recovery houses, not including your car of choice, whether you're getting Ubers or a Turo or
Yes.
transportation of choice. Just massages alone for quality, competent, comprehensive massages that will help you heal with a natural look.
A natural look.
You're looking at easily $2,000, and that's just off the rip.
And she didn't even talk about the products that they need, the different
Not the
models.
products, not the fajas, not the waist trainers, not your supplies. Your supplies are an average, are going to cost you about $500. Most people will romanticize the end result of these treatments and procedures and then tune out all the stuff in the middle because you fell in love with what the end result looked like, but didn't take into consideration.
To hear more
what
on
everyone
pre-op
had
and
to
post-op,
go
check us out
to
on
get that end result.
Silhouette_Innovado on Instagram now.
Okay, so let me say this. Right?
Okay.
So I told you I'm big in the community, and David Grogan, he's a good friend of mine. Actually, how I met him, he was my supervisor, and so he was running out for. I think first he was running out for council member. Now he's running out for sheriff, for Prince George's County, and he is a Bowie. He lives in Bowie. He's a Bowie resident.
Okay.
Right. So he's been running around and I told him, I said, I need y'all to meet her, blah, blah, blah. She lives in Bowie, she's from Prince George's County, blah, blah, blah. He said, what? Cause they've been both of them been wanting to get up here. They was like, what? She's from Bowie? I said, yes, she's a Bowie resident. And so I told him, I said, look, I know this two were matched. Like she's about the community, she's about the people, about health and wellness, she's about saving lives. That's what you're about. I need y'all to meet. I'm the type that like the type people connect.
Yeah,
Right?
thank you.
Right?
Because that's what keeps this industry and the community moving forward.
Right. So she want to present something to you on the behalf of David Grogan. He had to go to another meeting, right?
David had to go to another meeting, so I'll backtrack a little bit. I'm his chairperson. I'm Priscilla Monroe, and David asked me to be his chairperson. So I was like, what does that look like? Well, hands on the job experience. So as I began to learn the heart of David and to know about all he has done previously, he's a Bowie State alumni. He's a retired veteran. He's a retired U.S. Marshal. He's on the NAACP. He's on the Black Caucus. He's on Moms Demand Action. Black women.
I have so
in
many chills right now.
Yeah, so as I began to know him and just see his platform, I saw a man with integrity and with a purpose for the people. So as a part of his platform that and I don't like to say platform because it sounds staged.
Right, but it's
And when you are running for a position in a county office or whatever office, with him, he doesn't want to look stage or sound stage because he's authentic.
Yes,
but he's
he is.
authentic to caring for the people. He wants the people's vote. We know it takes money, but his heart is towards the people. And as Tamika told him about you, what you do in the community, that you live in Bowie, what you have done, and I knew, I learned probably 3 minutes of what you do, and the first thing she did, she said to David, I think you would be a great connection for her.
Yeah.
Just because of the compassion that connects to the people.
Right.
We know business is business and his campaign is his campaign, but I believe in the authenticity of people connecting,
Yes.
which is how our spirits connect.
Yes, yes.
The first time I met her.
Yes.
So on behalf of the Grogan Campaign for Sheriff, we want to say thank you for what you've already done in the community, what you're going to continue to do. And as I have sat here and listened to your story, not even knowing all of it, my spirit just says, yes, this is the connection.
Yes.
So on the days that you get tired, know that you
Yes.
know that you are doing it for a true purpose.
Absolutely.
And I already
Please
feel
know
it's
that.
not. I
Yeah,
already feel
please
it's
know-
not
please
for
know
the
that.
money.
Yes.
I felt your
Yes.
heart and my
Yes.
discernment picked up on it. So we said thank you on behalf of the
Yes.
Grogan community, because
Yes.
one person that I do know, as he continues out in the community, he is gonna win this year.
Yeah, he definitely
He's
gonna win
going
for
to
sure.
win this year. This is his season. So
Yeah,
on
it
behalf
is.
of his season, as he is being blessed, we want to make sure we be a blessing to other people. So we present you with some flowers just to say thank you. Just to say thank you.
Yeah.
And if there's anything that we can do to assist you with what you're doing.
There is. I need a lot. This goddamn regulation board is pissing me off.
We can definitely talk about it, but we want to say thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
And
There are so many times where I get weary and I stop and I'm like, why am I doing this? Because when you focus on profits, the road is easier. But when you focus on people, healing people, helping people, wanting to save people, that road is arduous and
Yes.
very uncharted. People take the easier road and I get so weary. And even with the woman that I was telling you about, that I was like, I don't want to cry.
Yes.
All of it was because I put my heart out there and I want the people who are being hurt and ostracized in our industry come at the extent of capitalism and people focusing on themselves instead of who they're working on. And it's women. We don't have a voice in healthcare, and that's that's when it's medical, not even when it's elective. And wanting change comes about when people who are not effective care as much as the people who are. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I thank you so much.
You
Yes.
are so welcome,
Yes.
because that's one thing as he become the sheriff of Prince George's County, and I can proudly say that.
Yes.
And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't the truth, but that is one thing he is very passionate about. It is for the people.
Yes.
I'm like, whatever we need to do to hit the ground running, we don't have to worry about the developers. The people will vote us in. 'Cause
Oh yeah.
voting is what get you in. The money is what showcases what you're doing.
Right.
But the people will vote.
It was
you in.
never about the money for me. Like I
So-
undercharge for a lot of things that I do because I know that the community needs it.
Absolutely.
I know people need it. I know business owners who are passionate about what they're doing as they're growing and wanting to do better. We weren't born with silver spoons in our mouths, and
Why
we're
not?
Right.
figuring it out as we go. There's no manual to this,
It
and all
is,
we
right.
want to do is make a difference.
That's
And
it.
I thank you all for taking a stance and making that a part of your platform that is not just about capitalism and politics
Right.
and money, that at the end of the day, the root of your platform is to make a difference and leaving something better than how you found it.
And one of the
Absolutely.
biggest things that he does stand for on his platform is evictions. We know that evictions must take place. We know that landlords need to get paid. But one of the things that he's going to do is speak against the timing of evictions being placed upon people. He doesn't want evictions to be done during Christmas time.
I was
He doesn't
evicted.
want, he don't want evictions to be done during Mother's Day. So there are strategic things that can be done where we're still actually supporting and representing the laws of the land, because they still need to be there.
Right.
But there are still ways to go
Infuse
about
it,
how
right.
they are
What
done.
David does, it sounds like he infuses compassion
Yes.
Oh yeah, compassion. is
That's why we
into the
friends.
community.
And
That's
that's
why
how,
we're friends.
that's how,
Yeah.
so thank you.
Yeah.
And on behalf of Grogan Campaign,
Yes.
we thank you for your support.
Yeah, you know
We
I
thank
support
you for
David.
just being behind him
Yes.
and just connecting to me to say, Priscilla, whatever you need.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
Yes.
But this is what business, you're the first, I've been in business for full time, I want to say maybe 9 or 10 years now. I've been in this industry for close to 17. You're the first politician that's connected to be like, hey, as a business owner who's working, living, and loving in this industry, what do you need? How can I help you?
Yes.
my son and I were evicted, and this happened before you. I shared this part of the story before you came, and I was maybe like
She
9
said she
years
wasn't
ago.
even here to hear that.
You had no
Right.
idea.
She missed
We
all
slept in
of
a
that.
car, and we wrapped ourselves up with dirty clothes that were inside of a suitcase to keep warm in 30-degree weather because we were evicted, and we worked our way back up from nothing. And thank goodness I had God and enough tenacity and a business degree to fall back, or a bachelor's degree to fall back on, and be like, all right, yo, this ain't how you was raised. Let's figure it out. Not everybody has that.
Not everyone has that, and as you was telling your story, my story is not that similar, but it is similar where I had to start over. And I use my platform to say it's okay.
It's okay to
Yes,
start
it's
over.
okay.
And it is
Absolutely,
okay.
absolutely.
As I had to walk away from $1 million house with a $250,000 income because there were things that I was not going to tolerate. I had to tell my girls, and I say this, I'll say it to the podcast, and it is okay.
It's okay. It's
It
okay.
is. It
Yeah.
is okay.
Okay.
But one thing I did before
Yes.
I walked out the doors, I built a village.
Mm-hmm.
The village says, yes, Priscilla, whatever you need. So I'm about building the village. So
Thank you so much.
you have to show us, but we're here to do that. I don't know what that looks like, but you have people that will be there for you and say, okay, what do we need to do? Who do we need to ask and where do we need to go? And I'll hold your hand through. And that's from me, Priscilla
Me too.
Monroe. That's
too.
my ministry, Soul Trek Ministry, and I empower, hold hands to women and men. I stand for the men.
My heart, well, I think because it was one of the most recent, but the most outlandish was, I'm like, I kept you from dying. And the unfortunate situation that the woman found herself in was because of misinformation.
Mhm.
She went to a general surgeon, and typically when it comes to anatomy and physiology, when there is a cavity, that cavity has to be removed or it's going to refill, except for seromas. And so she said that I wanted good care, and I'm a black woman, so I wanted white people care. And she went to a white hospital in a white area, white neighborhood to get good care, but they're not familiar with seromas or BBLs because that's not what that group of people do. And the general surgeon gutted out her seroma and left her with, like, I'd say a 6 by 8 inch wound that was gutted out, that was unnecessary. And here she is fighting for her life because of misinformation. That if we could take this healing and this love that's infused inside of this business and this industry and in this area, and then push it out to the masses.
I gotta get this.
Thank you.
I gotta have you keep looking cute. Keep looking
girl.
cute. Yes.
And push it
I
out to
love
the
it.
masses. I will never cry over spilled milk, but I will
Right.
always pause to look up and be like, what milk also does not have to be spilled?
Absolutely.
Who can we help to save based off of progression and inclusion instead of this continual division that we see so
Yes.
rampant in the body contouring and post-op industry?
Yes.
No, it doesn't have to be like this.
They don't have to be like this.
Like, this is what we need to be able to continue
Yes.
to help people, is this inclusivity. And
Right.
please come sit on this couch. Let's make it longer. And how can we continue to grow together?
That's it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you for this. And she was like, yeah, somebody's coming. And I was like, oh, hell, what I done did? Who's coming? And this, I never could have
You've
imagined.
done a
or
lot
would've
in a
thought of
very
it.
You did a
positive way.
lot.
You've done a
You did a
lot.
lot, and we appreciate you. Just know, we see you. We can see you. You know, and we appreciate you. Like, I know you have a lot of stories, and I know your testimonies are long, but we just want you to know, as women, like, we appreciate you. We appreciate what you're doing out there.
Yeah.
So when you feel like you want to give up, and when you feel like enough is enough, just think about these
This,
women.
right.
This
Just
moment
this
right
right
here.
Think about the positive.
That we
this
are
couch.
cheering you on.
Yes.
This is
You
a
may
healing
not
couch.
see a lot of people cheering you on, but people praying for you.
Right.
Oh,
On the
absolutely.
We
sidelines.
cheering you on.
Yeah.
Like, dang, I know
Yeah.
she gotta be going through a lot. Let me be praying for her.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So just
You
know
are
that.
so welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Yes.
And you, everything that God has for you, you deserve it.
Right.
I know the wedding's gonna be beautiful. Everything that you
Wedding?
got. Yeah, she got a wedding coming up.
Oh, I'm getting married next week.
And she took her pictures today. She came here.
This is our wedding makeup, so it's
Does
good.
the wedding
Hold on. How's it look? I still look
Yeah,
alright.
you look good.
I dropped the tear too, and it's still in place, so I gotta let her know this is a good look.
It looks good. It looks good, right? And so when that's why you gotta get the same girl that did did your makeup, right? Because you're gonna be dropping tears and let her know it didn't mess up at all.
It's not.
No
It's
smear
not.
or nothing.
Gorgeous.
Because I was like, oh my God, stop, don't, no.
No.
Same person,
Absolutely.
same foundation, same everything.
Yeah.
See
The
how
same
we as
person.
women, we can start on one topic and still
I know.
Right.
it flusters and or flows into other
Yes, it
topics,
does.
especially when you
Absolutely.
have the genuine
The genuine, yep.
Yeah.
heart and compassion
Yes.
just for people,
Mhm.
and being that Proverbs 31 woman,
Yes.
what that looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
There's so many times that I'll meet people and I see that they're operating out of survival mode instead of out of love, and making sure that we pack enough energy and light to be able to encompass their darkness and help love on them,
Mm-hmm.
and creating safe spaces for you to come and lay down your burdens and look at your past and start to forgive yourself for bad decisions. It makes it so much easier to enjoy chasing your body goals and your terms when you're giving yourself a free slate to do that.
Yeah.
And for us to continue to do that as a people, we need the outside support for us to
Absolutely.
love on
Absolutely.
ourselves. As
Yes.
I'm a biased black woman, I'm a biased minority woman. We know how to survive.
Yes, we do.
We do.
Right.
Yes,
we
we
know
do.
how to endure. We know how to grin and bear. We know how to get through some
Yes,
shit.
But I
Yes, we do.
also
We.
believe we have been tasked with making sure that we level up on what survival looks like.
Right.
Yes, I'm going
Exactly.
through this, but
Right.
I'm not going to look like this. 'Cause
Right.
my
Yes.
mother told me as I was going through my journey, don't you walk out the house looking like
Right.
that.
Yes.
Don't look
And
like
so-
that.
and
Right.
when you have a village around you, that survival's gonna look different.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
it
it is.
is.
Because they're
Yes,
gonna
it
lift
is.
you up.
Yes.
Yeah. And it allows and presents the opportunity for us to start healing.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
so stuff like this, it provides the avenues for someone to come in, and you don't have to be rah-rah. You
No,
don't
you
have
don't.
to be
You
the,
don't have
the
to.
mask and the facade and the veil.
Just be yourself here.
When you
Just,
come
just,
here,
just relax.
We
Yes.
need
Yeah.
so much more of this, and understand that the way that you see on TV is not how your reality has to
Right.
be.
Yeah, absolutely.
True.
Yes.
So thank you for infusing that type of love and compassion and consideration into your platform for people, specifically women and black women, to just be. Whatever
Just
that
to
looks
be.
like.
Yeah.
Just to be.
Thank
Just
you
be.
for letting us be.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
So this was definitely a good interview, right?
Y'all got Mr. Crowd!
We done tested out the makeup. But I'm glad we didn't do the live.
Yeah.
I'm
This
glad.
is so much more authentic.
It really
we weren't.
was.
I forgot
But
the
you
camera was even
said,
there.
but you
Right.
said something about the tears. We gotta watch the tears.
Once again, or gentlemen, because I have some guys that come here for post-op too. And if you think about post-op, or you think about, I'm sorry, not post-op. If you think about surgery, please do your research. Get your bag together. Get your
Oh,
bag
my
together.
I think those
Get-
are the
get
deals
your
we got
mind
from this.
together.
Very.
Get your support team together. You
Right.
need support. Just
Yes.
just like Ty was saying, make sure it's not just the babies. And if
Right.
you do have the babies, make sure they together.
Right.
Right? Because I do have single moms that get the surgery done. They didn't know it was this serious. They didn't know it was this deep.
Right.
I had
Right.
one lady, she said, look, I'm running out of money. And she said, I got my 8-year-old massaging me, but them little hands was going. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
please, ladies and gentlemen, make sure your support, especially that support.
Yeah.
You need that support. Like we cannot be your only support
Right.
system.
Yeah.
Like we do have a family. Like
Yeah.
the phone's got to cut off at certain time. You can't cut all this in the middle.
Right.
Like we want to be there for you, but make sure the support system is there. Make sure that not the foundation. I'm sorry, the finance is there. Make sure you do your research. Make sure when you do your, you're looking for somebody to do your post-op care. Just like Ty said, do your research. Do your research on these different garments. So nevertheless, I'm just so honored that we had this time. It feels so good. Like I don't even want to stop. I
And
know
it
she-
just feels
see,
so genuine.
I tell you, but she got somewhere to go,
Right.
and I
Yes.
get it. Like I really just want to hug on her right now. I know she got somewhere to be at later on at 7, but it's 6:50. Oh my God, so we got enough time to have one little more drink together. But anyway, nevertheless, I am so glad to have these women here. Thank you, Ms. Clark, for being here. She always supporting me. She always supporting me,
Nah, my
rooting me
child, love
on, telling me, Tamika, calm down, slow down.
No.
So, but nevertheless, I thank God for my son. He's here. He's doing an amazing job. He's dating, growing his team, his campaign. He's winning this year. He always doing big things. And if you're a friend of mine, they have integrity. Like, they have passion for people. Like, if you're a friend of mine, you close to me, trust me, they just like me. I promise you.
And for those who want to support, you can go to www.davegrogan.com.
And quick question. How can they get in contact with you? And do you do one-on-one consultations? Okay.
I have, and it's a list. If you're trying to gain weight, lose weight, you prepping for your surgery, you need help picking a doctor, you done already had a surgery and you done realize that you done under-researched. If you go to my website, or I'll make it easier for you, I turned it into a quick, friendly link. It is bit.ly/TOSIVC. So that's bit.ly/TOSIVC, and that'll bring you up to a list of all of the consultations that we offer to help you no matter where you are in your cosmetic self-love journey, and we can get you where you need to be.
Absolutely. And then also, she has her own group that she monitors. So if the information is not right, she's not letting it come through her platform.
It'll get deleted.
So it would get deleted. So
I think that's how you and I first met.
I know.
She put up something. I was like,
but it was wrong though.
It was wrong.
It was right.
I just had to speak one thing, and I was like,
one thing. I was half asleep.
half asleep when she
I was
typed
half
it.
asleep. It was like 12 o'clock at night. Most of the time when I can post something, it's late at night. I'm
because you
tired.
just finishing up.
Yeah.
I'm just my body is just winding down. So one of my clients, she said, "Girl, they is frying you on the groups." I said, "Why?"
Gotta love them typos.
Yes.
Because I did.
This was my first introduction to her, and I was like, "Who is Silhouette in the bottom?"
So I still appreciate the fact that you knew what it was, right? And she said, "I'm gonna still do the interview."
I was so hyped for this, and I support, as long as you're moving ethically, I support people who support this industry and want to see it grow.
Right.
So thank you all for having me.
Yes.
If y'all ever want to chop it up again, we can.
Yes.
I think when I reached
Again.
up, I was like, yeah, I'll talk about my surgery journey, girl. We didn't talk about everything else.
Everything.
So we'll have a part 2. We'll come
Have to have
back.
a part 2 for sure, y'all. For sure. And thank you for coming, taking out your time.
Thank you,
Presenting
David.
this and
Even though he
David's
couldn't be
team.
here, he's still here.
Oh, trust me, he's still
energy.
here. His energy.
Yeah.
Whoa. It's big. It's big. But nevertheless, see y'all people later. Have a blessed day, and continue to be great. And we will see you on the other side of greatness. Bye bye.